Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Sever7, and today we are taking a look at the Remette woodpecker. And that's with the ultimate goal of seeing if this is worth adding to your collection or your daily carry. Now, I purchased this knife myself, so I would like to thank me for sponsoring this video. And the OEM was Remette, and I believe this was an in-house design. I tried finding a designer and I couldn't, so I'm just assuming they did it on their own. So first impressions of this thing is, one, it's a little dirty. That's my bad. Was the no hardware. We have no visible screws, no visible pivots. And that is awesome. So we've got smooth titanium for the scales. We have some textured titanium. They're not inlays or anything like that. It's the same piece of titanium. You can see it's connected there. They just did some coloring to it, some anodizing, but it feels good. A little scratchy. And then we have a deep carry milled titanium non-reversible pocket clip. We do have a spot for a lanyard, and we do have a, I'd say not quite a half backspacer. Now let's take a look. There we go. A little upward force and a click. There we go. Looks like we have some oil in there. That is neat. Now, I don't believe you can click off the backside. I think the disassembly starts here, which I'm not going to do because I don't want to not get it back together. But that is awesome. And the knife is still fully functional. Well, unless I'm pushing on the lock bar. But yeah, this is really, really cool construction. Remette has absolutely leveled up their quality. I remember whenever Remette was just an Amazon brand, and over the last, like 2 years, they've blown up to be like one of the premier, like, manufacturers. I get excited anytime Remette has a drop, or anytime I hear about something that's coming out. I'm like, oh, freaking sweet, because everything they've dropped, I would say probably their last 7 or 8 models have just been hot. Like, they've just been fantastic. So, huge fan of what Remette's been doing. Now, as far as the ergonomics, it's neutral, and it wouldn't look comfortable initially, but I can tell you that getting it in hand, no hot spots. Full 4-finger grip, neutral, comfortable. Even if I'm white knuckling it, I can just barely feel the clip. Right? So if you're just using this for normal everyday stuff, you're going to be fine. It feels nice and lightweight. Balance, like slightly butt heavy, but to be fair, that's pretty dang good considering how this thing's constructed. So I'm not mad at it. And it feels very balanced in hand. We have some jimping, and it is functional. It goes all the way. I mean, you have a choke up spot, and the jimping goes up to here, right? So it's very functional. We have nice deep grooves. And it just feels good. The website called this a reverse tanto. I don't believe that's a real blade shape, so I'm gonna say sheep's foot. I tend to call anything if the point or if the tip of the blade is below where the pivot would be, and it has a belly, I call it a sheep's foot. If the tip of the blade is below where the pivot should be and it's flat on the bottom, I call it a worn cliff. So if you're wondering how I'm coming up with that, that's essentially my method for identifying worn cliff and sheep's foot. So since the tip is below where the pivot is and this has a belly, I'm going to say this is a sheep's foot. We have a stone washed finish on the blade. We have a flat grind. We are rocking M390 and the HRC is between 60 and 61, which isn't the most optimal for M390, but they're staying away from 59, and that is a heck of a lot better than a lot of companies do. Oh. Now, as far as the action on this, the detent is medium, very snappy, very satisfying. This is a fidget monster. I will say that since we're knocked down here, so we have access to the lock bar, we have more room on this side than we do back here, right? So to get this reverse flick, you either have to have some nail, which I don't, or you just use the fat of your finger, which I have no problem doing. So you kind of get your finger in there. That's what she said. You kind of get your finger in there and then flick it. And if you try to get your nail in there, you can still do it, but if you don't have much nail, it just might be a little bit harder. Front flipper works fantastic. As I fail it, I think we can do the reverse upside down. Yep, ninja. As far as acoustics go, I mean, I think they kind of speak for themselves. I think it's fantastic. It's a very, very solid click, or snap rather. Yeah, I love it. As far as the close, this is some of my favorite action, where it's kind of that shake shut. And then the acoustics whenever it lands. A very nice click. Lock bar access is very easy. Like I mentioned, they cut that out for us. And it doesn't have a mounting position for lefties, but the knife is still very lefty friendly, especially since they have more room on this side for the reverse flick. It's got a very satisfying reverse flick. I don't practice anything lefty, so if I can do it, a lefty can absolutely do it. And then we can reverse flick, or not reverse, but we can use the top flipper just fine. Now, overall length is 6.97 inches with a blade length of 2.95. So that's going to give us a blade to handle ratio of 0.73, which is typically low, but however they did it on this knife, it looks great. I think the blade to handle ratio looks fantastic. Doesn't bother me a bit. Yeah, the blade's clearly shorter than the handle, but you know, the aesthetic of this, I think they knocked it out of the park, so I'm not going to complain. And then the weight is 4.8 ounces, which you would think would feel really, really heavy, but honestly, it doesn't. It feels very balanced in hand, probably because all the weight's concentrated, you know, like right here. So now, I don't know. Well, I don't know the science behind it. I'm just going to say it feels comfortable. I'm not going to try to come up with a reason. It just feels good, right? That's all that matters. Let's do some size comparisons. We'll do the Vanguard Cheetah. Vanguard Cheetah is a relatively small knife, and it's still coming at about an inch bigger than the woodpecker. Let's see. I just happen to have very obscure knives on my desk today. We're going to do the tuck knives click. About an inch and some change smaller. And then we're going to do the Appalachian Drifter, which is a monster. And that is substantially larger. I know I need to get a regular rotation of knives that are very common, and I just need to put them on my desk before I review anything, because putting up these obscure things doesn't really help anybody. It just checks the box and says, hey, I did size comparisons, and I get that. So, my bad, guys. What's the price on this bad boy? This is coming in, if you just go straight to the website and buy it, you're looking at $215. Is it worth that price? Abso-freaking-lutely. 100%. Without a question, it is worth $215. There's companies out there, at $215 giving us, poorly heat-treated M390, basic titanium frame lock, with very little effort, right? Like we see that all the time. This knife has here, I'll put it like this. Artisan Cutlery delivers a fantastic value at $200, right? Because they give you milled titanium, they give you, good steel, as far as we know, a good heat treat, right? Like Artisan does a great job at $200. We're sitting $15 above that, and not to take away from Artisan, but we have screwless construction, we have hidden hardware, we have 60 to 61 M390. I mean, not only do we have effort, but we have innovation. So at $215, yeah, all day, every day, beyond the shadow of a doubt. This thing is freaking amazing. Would I carry it? 100%. My question is, would you carry it? Do me a favor and drop a comment below and let me know if this knife is going to have a spot in your daily carry or collection. If it does, the link for this knife is going to be linked down in the description. And if you want more reviews like this, hit the like button and subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok at SEVRSEVN. Super appreciate the support. You guys have been amazing. Love the interactions. I saw Edged Mindset in my comments earlier. Oh, that was so freaking sweet because he's huge. You know what I'm saying? Just feels good, right? Getting 3 or 4 subscribers a day feels amazing. Steady growth. I love it. So thank you so much, guys. We still have a big 500 subscriber giveaway coming up. I'm really excited about that. More information on that coming up. Until the next time,